Welcome everyone to the April Walk Massachusetts network meeting. I'm going to turn it over to our speakers now, Ali and Yolando.
Great. Thanks, Brendan. I'm gonna share my presentation here. Bear with me one second. So happy to have you all here to share this resource that we've developed. It's the Walk Audit Database. Myself and Ali got to collaborate and work on this together. Ali, maybe you can just introduce yourself real quick once again for folks who are tuning in.
Yes, I'm Allie Gibbs, a junior at MIT. I interned with Walk Massachusetts in January and helped create the Walk Audit Database with Yolando.
And yeah, this database is something to help us just improve walking throughout Massachusetts. You all are walk advocates in a lot of ways, probably in your own community, in your own regions throughout the state. And we all know the benefits of walking, but just to reiterate them, walking is great for public health and personal health. It's great for the environment because it reduces emissions and it reduces some of the different toxic elements that exist when people get into single occupancy vehicles and move around in that way. And walking is also great for economic development because people can choose to walk to businesses in their downtowns and near their homes. And walking is also just great to form community. It helps to build social capital and build some of that social infrastructure that we all love. And it also helps people connect civically. So walking has a lot of benefits, but we have to actively design our communities to be walkable. We have to choose that infrastructure. And walk audits are our tool for helping community members kind of start to investigate what are the challenges that exists with walking, and what are some of the different recommendations that they want to make to their municipalities to address some of those different challenges that they see. So we created this a walk audit database, Ali and myself, as a tool to basically bring all the walk audits that Walk Massachusetts has worked on for the past like 10 years. Even though Walk Massachusetts has been an organization for 30 years, we took a look back and we found as many of our walk audit reports as we could find. And we decided to just put it in all in one place so people can investigate and look into the walk audits that have been conducted in their municipalities or in the places that is of interest to them, and they can start to find the recommendations and find all the information that they need in one place. So it's basically just a really fancy spreadsheet. Ali did a great job going through each individual report, each individual PDF, and uh, sorting them out and pulling out the key information that we need, like a summary for each walk audit, finding the long-term recommendations and short-term recommendations in each report, and finding the specific streets or intersections that are highlighted in those specific walk audit reports, and just putting them all into one place so people can find the key information that they need. And we try to make it easy for folks to find key themes and key topics that pop up in their walk audits. And I'll pause for a second so Ali can tell us a little bit about her process and how it was for her to comb through so many walk audits.
Yeah, so luckily the walk audits, a lot of them were broken down into short and long-term recommendations already. So going through those, I inputted the long-term and short-term recommendations that were like the main recommendations. And then within the actual walk audit itself, there were many different factors to meet these or like sub recommendations that people can follow to make these changes. So that's why we also linked all of the walk audits into this spreadsheet as well. So people that are interested to see the sub recommendations of these main short and long-term recommendations are able to do so. Along with that, we have the facilitators and the authors of the walk audits themselves, as many that we could find that works with Walk Massachusetts in the most right column. So if you have questions about the walk audits, you can also reach out to them. But yeah.
Yeah, and Ali, I know that you spent like basically you had a month with us to go through all these walk audits, and we really appreciate all the work that you put into it. Did you find that they were all in the same format, or was the tell us about the formats that you seen? Like, were they similar, or were there some things that were different between them?
Yeah, the formats definitely differed throughout the years. I feel like I found chunks of years where the formats were the same, where it was like very straightforward as to what the recommendations were, so that was nice to follow. I feel like going a little further back, it was more so like paragraphs and paragraphs of recommendations, so that was a little harder to break down. But yeah, I mean, I would say the walk audits that had visual representations with the recommendations were super nice, especially for me who was jumping into this, not really, I mean, on my first day, I didn't even know what a walk audit was. So that was super nice to have a visual to understand what I was trying to write in the spreadsheet.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you bearing with us and going through all of those different PDFs and Google documents to find the key insights that we need in order to create this database. And we also know that these reports are something that we've have developed over time, and we've actually gotten better with, I think, creating these reports as an organization. But we know that there's also a variety of different ways that people might want to share their findings of their walk audits, or a variety of different ways that they wanted to elevate it. So we don't think that the way that we like format a report is necessarily like how everyone will be formatting it going forward, but we want to create a centralized location that at least collects some of the key insights necessary to communicate those findings of walk audits out to the general public. This is a tool that we want to also make available for folks to share out their own findings and their own walk audits with us. So maybe Ali, you can tell us a little bit about the aspect of folks submitting their walk audits to us and how that could potentially impact this database.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, I feel like the more the merrier when it comes to like walk audits and the information that they provide. So we've created a submission tool for others to share their walk audit findings. Um, they'll be prompted with the same categories that you see on the screen here. So the summary, long-term recs, short-term recs, streets, themes, etc. And then WalkMass will collect all of that information, and so that we can represent all of your information and just all the walk audits we've collected into a similar structure, so other community members can read what other people have found.
Great. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great tool. I'm looking forward to sharing it with more folks and making it available. It's something that we hope will serve advocates, planners, and policymakers and communities in general. We imagine that like advocates will use not to only to find out what's happening in their specific municipalities, but what's happening in other communities and what are some similar challenges that might exist in other places and successes that exist in other places that they might want to amplify locally with their decision makers. There might be some short-term or long-term recommendations that folks find that are working in similar places that they want to elevate in their own reports. So yeah, we imagine that advocates will be conducting walk audits. Maybe this could be a tool that advocates can visit before actually going out on their walk audits to just think about what are those challenges that might come up, what are those long-term and short-term recommendations that they could bring up during their walk audits to other participants. And we imagine planners and policymakers utilizing this database to see what's happening throughout the state. What are some key patterns? What are some key challenges that exist? And maybe it might inform policymaking at the local or state level. And also, this might be a tool that folks can leverage when they're looking for funding or looking for grants. Sometimes walk audits might exist on your municipal website, or they might exist, in a specific place. But sometimes links do break over time and things get lost. But we want to make it easy for people to like remember, okay, at least there's one place that this is centralized and located, and I can go back there and find what I need, maybe to apply for some funding to impact walkability in your own municipality. And we want the community to use this as a tool to help them advocate and connect with their local decision makers to improve walkability. So this is not just a tool for the people who understand some of the wonky pieces of transportation, but we want this to be a tool that anybody in throughout the Commonwealth can just pick up and use to impact walkability. And this is a tool that we also made it really easy to find on our website. You can basically just go on to Walk Massachusetts, our main landing page, and click on Learn at the top of the website, and then you just click on Walk Audits, and then once you click on Walk Audits, you'll get to the Walk Audit Database from there, and I'll show you what our next slide here is just me kind of like going through the actual section and that area of the website and going through the database and actually going through the submission form. And the submission form is basically just a simple Google form with key questions that we need in order to make sure that all of the walk audits have some similar format and similar pieces that folks can reference when navigating through the database. And again, the database is on the website, but if you want to dig deeper into it and download the actual Excel or Google sheet, you can do that too in order to allows you to get to any of the reports. So you can easily just get to a section where we link the PDFs or the documents, and you can dig deeper into each individual report as you see fit. The submission form is a Google form that is embedded on the website, but you can also just open that separately, and it asks you for some key information like your name and your email. But it also just asks us like, what are the short-term recommendations? What are the long-term recommendation? Key themes that are popping up. That's basically just check boxes, and it allows us to keep like the format the same on the database and allow us to elevate the key pieces that people need in order to advocate for more walkable communities. Anything you want to add about the submission tool, Ali?
Yeah, I would just say it's super nice to have just to keep the walk audit organized and take in other advocates' information. A nice thing about it is that like the submissions are reviewed by WalkMass staff. So if advocates don't submit information in the like proper format, we can go in before adding that to the walk audit database just to make sure everything's still clean.
Yeah, and we also want to create one layer of just to check and to make sure that we're not getting spammed and have a whole bunch of junk just be on the database. We want to make it that there is some ability for us to clean and manage this database over time. So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out on the submissions, and we might reach out to folks depending on like what type of format that they submit, but we want to keep the format very open. So if folks are interested in submitting a PDF, a Word document with the key recommendations and insights that they found during their walk audit, it's great. But if it's a series of PowerPoints with images and it has those key recommendations, that's great too. Or even if it's like a YouTube video that highlights the recommendations, we're open to that too, as what you submit to us. We've even seen TikToks of folks highlighting their walk audits. So if that's what you want to do, or if that's what the participants want to submit, that's fine. We just want to collect some of those key insights in the submission tool, and then you can link whatever product that you were able to generate during your walk audit in the same platform, and then we will link to that on the database so folks can dig deeper into your findings. So that is the submission tool, and we think that this is something that the broader community is going to benefit from, that it's going to improve walkability as it gets disseminated, and advocates can dig into it. And we are hoping that it actually helps to impact innovation when it comes to solutions for walkability throughout the state. We're going to see some key patterns and some key things that are really working using these tools. And maybe there'll be some new things that we realize, hey, this is something that this municipality is utilizing that others are not, and we should look more into it. So hopefully this tool allows us to learn more and allows us to really work together throughout the state to improve walkability. So my call to action to you all is explore the database today, go on our website, look into what we have up there so far. And if you have some, if you have a resource or a walk audit that you've conducted and you want to submit it on the submission tool, and share out the link on your social media, let people know about the database. And when you do conduct your walk audits in the future, hopefully you submit your findings. So that's what I have for you today, and I appreciate y'all joining. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is ispinola@walkmassachusetts.org. I'll pause there.
Great. I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll just open it up for questions. So.